Hello and Happy New Year, everyone. It's Kristen Redmond, and today we're going to go over the planetary aspects that are going to be around us this week, January 3rd through the 9th, 2016. And where I'm going to start with is, of course, the new year. A lot of us this time of year, what we do is we make those resolutions on how to lose the weight or to get a new job or to find that person that we're looking for. And we set these resolutions or these time frames of these goals that we want to achieve, and a lot of times when we don't achieve them, we feel terrible and we feel bad, and we don't have a lot of going power, staying power normally, but this new year is almost a little bit different. It's almost like the universe has given us a free pass to hold off on those New Year's resolutions until the end of the month. And I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but there's a whole bunch of reasoning behind that. First thing that's going to be happening right out the gate that's going to kind of squash those New Year's resolutions that we have is Mercury is going to be going into retrograde on Tuesday the 5th. Okay, and now what retrograde means is literally going backwards is what, well, the word literally means backwards, but when they say that a planet is going retrograde, the rest of the planets are going forward in their normal orbit. And this particular planet, like for tomorrow, is going to be Mercury. What it does is it actually stations and it stays in the same spot into all the other planets that are going forward. Just like if you were in the back seat of a car and you're looking out and you're seeing road signs passing you, they look like they're going backwards when really it's just you going forward, and it's all in how your illusion of it is. It looks like it's going backwards, so that's what retrograde means. And when a planet goes into its retrograde phase, some of them it's only one time a year, but like with Mercury, it's 3 or 4 times a year. When it goes into this retrograde phase, the embodiment of that planet, the characteristics that go with it, those aspects go and they appear to go backwards for us. So with Mercury, it represents our communication. Anything that has to do with communication. So that's going to deal with literally how we talk to people. It's going to affect the way that we think, the way that our technology works. So like our cell phones, our computers, you name it, anything like that. It deals with communication, right? So it's not going to work. The news, things like that. Our letters, you'll find that you lose letters under the seat in the car. You thought you were going to mail it, and it doesn't. It takes 3 weeks. And then when in that 3-week span of time, when Mercury is in retrograde and those communications are blocked, once that planet goes direct and goes forward, then all of a sudden the communication is back up, we're online and we're working correctly, right? You find that letter that fell under the seat, or your Kindle all of a sudden starts working again, even though it was frozen up in that app wouldn't work. Things like that happen, just as Mercury's effect on us. Some of us it affects more than others. If you're a Virgo or if you're a Gemini, because your sign is driven by the planet Mercury, you are going to feel that 3-week delay a lot more so than other people, because you're driven by that air element of communication, of vocalizing, of communicating your thoughts and ideas with others. And these people that have those influences, whether it's your sun sign, some people it's their Mercury that's in Virgo or in Gemini, they will experience, even before the retrograde happens and a little bit after, more than the other people, that confusion. Okay, they're going to have a lot more issues communicating. The problem, it's not really a problem. The good thing that comes with all of the miscommunication that happens in a Mercury retrograde is what it really helps you to do is, like they say, anything. So reorganize, reorder, renew, reinvigorate, redecorate, whatever it is. You're taking this time to really internalize and think of how you are going to make that attack plan. Okay. Now our New Year's resolutions, if we make these, it's a contract really with the universe saying, I'm going to do this in this amount of time, blah, blah, right? But when Mercury goes into retrograde, contracts don't go through, okay? So this is almost the universe saying, I want you to take this month of January, this first month in the new year, under that Capricorn influence of hard work and thought and process and determination, take this time now to really think what it is that we want to make for the new plan for the new year and stick with that and go with that. And then when Mercury goes direct on the 25th, we'll have that energy behind us to really have the plan in order and get it done. And that's a good thing too. When it goes direct, we're going to be in that Capricorn influence still. So that hard work is going to be behind us, which is exactly what we're going to need, because Jupiter this week on the 7th is actually going into retrograde too. So we'll have both of those planets in retrograde. Now Jupiter is going to be in retrograde a lot longer than Mercury. That's going to last through, hold on a second, I didn't write it down, but usually it's like in April, around Easter time is when that goes direct. Now, when Jupiter goes retrograde, Jupiter represents our ability to expand. It represents the capacity for the luck that we have in our lives. So having Jupiter in retrograde, we're kind of forced to rely on our hard work and determination more than luck coming through and saving the day for us, okay? And that's fine, because this year, I think, be it that we roll up our sleeves and do that hard work ourselves, is going to make that prize even better, because we're not settling. We've worked hard and we know what we want, and we are going to go through the paces to really earn it and not say that it was luck that helped us. So we've got that. This week, another thing that we really have going on, because we've got these two retrograde planets that are in the signs that are Earth-based, Capricorn. Jupiter is in Virgo, which is another Earth sign. And we also have a few other planets that are also in the sign of Capricorn right now. So when you've got 5 of those major planetary influences out of the 10, you've got 5 of them in the Earth signs. It's really going to slow down our energy, okay? It's really going to slow down the thought process and just the way anything works. So just be prepared for that this month, definitely, but this week. And there's a lot that's going on with, Mars is going into the sign of Scorpio. Mars, of course, represents our passion and our motivation, and it's going into a water sign of Scorpio. So immediately that's going to kind of squelch any of that motivation that we need also for those New Year's resolutions. But right now, instead of putting that passion and motivation into getting it done and getting those goals attained, really what we're focusing on is our networking, our relationships with one another and how they work, and really how that other person works. We're going to have the drive and motivation to figure out what makes them tick. So I guess in a way that's one good thing that comes with Mars going into Scorpio. But because Mars is such a fiery planet and Scorpio is such an intense sign, when those two meet, you kind of have a lot of fights and a lot of misunderstandings and a lot of passion that's behind it that creates turmoil. So just kind of be on the lookout for that this week, especially because we have Uranus and Pluto that are going to be making a one-time-of-year connection with the Sun, okay, this week on the 7th when Jupiter goes retrograde too. So we're going to have, that really brings out an intense tension, I guess. I'm looking at my notes here because it's like my mind is thinking about what comes with that. It's really about the force and the power struggles that we deal with others, trying to get them to see our point of view, trying to hear both sides. And unfortunately, when Uranus, that planet of unpredictability, and Pluto, that planet of transformation through complete destruction, when they make a connection that's hard with our Sun, which represents us, our outer self, how we react, we tend to really react strongly and almost overbearingly. So the best thing to do this week is, if you feel fired up, because we got a lot of negative energy around us this week, just kind of retreat, hang back, enjoy being at home, try not to fight. That's the best thing you can do, because really, especially with that Pluto influence around it, a lot of finals can happen with those blow-ups that we have, and some of the words we have we won't be able to take back. So just keep that in mind for the week. But and then, hey, next week will be better. And then when Mercury goes direct at the end of the month, we can really get those plans into focus. And I'm going to put a link on the video here so you can see it. I've actually created a really super cool worksheet for you, and it's going to be based off of how, for the new year, it's the new year, new plan. And you can take that, you can say, okay, I want this to change, and I want this to be the way I do it. And it's a really awesome, kind of cool way to do that New Year's resolution, and have it in written form and kind of really make that contract with the universe. When Mercury goes direct on the 25th. So enjoy your time off from those resolutions for now, eh? Okay. But what we're going to do right now is a reading for the week. I'm going to start by pulling a stone and see who is working with us. All right. The angels that are around us, really helping us with this miscommunication that's going to be occurring this week. Who is the most active with that? Okay, so what I've pulled here is actually, I consider this the stone for children. So, or pregnancy, or being not barren, that's not the word I'm thinking of, being an open container for that seed, right, for conception, for what have you. Obviously, somebody that's watching has something to do with their children directly, or this has something to do with somebody that may be expecting a child. That energy is around, but for the rest of us that don't have that aspect, think of it as that seed that gets planted into the ground, right, of what we want and what we're going to have germinating for that goal for the year. But keep that in mind. We've got that stone of childlike innocence. I'm sorry, I can still hear them thinking here, or talking through me. Childlike innocence, trust for the new year. Okay, the child here. And then we're going to see what the message is with that, how that's getting tied in with all this miscommunication here. 6 is what I feel, so shuffle 6 times. Okay. In these next 2 shuffles, I was just thinking with that stone too, that new conception, that new birth can be represented too in the new year with that stone. And the next one here, what is it we're saying? The message they have for us this week is the 8 of Earth, okay? And this is about going back and either literally going back to school, or this has to do with learning all you can about a topic through going to school, or not, well, of course, going to school, but reading books, starting to get reinvigorated, finding something new, right? Creating something new, conceiving something new in your mind. This is also a sign that the skilled hard work that you have put in will be rewarded, okay? 8 is a number of manifestation, about bringing in new things. And the suit of Earth, like I told you earlier about how we have so many planets in the Earth sign right now, the Earth represents our material items, our money, our possessions, our anything we hold of value, including our self-worth, okay? So 8, we can manifest those things into fruition this year with that new seed. We need to really try to find a new venue to get that information through. They want you to stretch yourself and find those hidden talents, that hidden seed. I see this rock where it's coming in now, that hidden seed of potential that's in all of us, these hidden talents that we have. They really can help bring that money that we need, okay? Or that relationship, that physical connection that we need. It's possible, okay? I'm going to pull one of my emotion cards with it too, because that'll help us see where that energy is laying stagnant for these new things to come into life for us. I feel like the number 4, so I'm going to do that 4 times. Let's see what kind of emotion they have that goes with that, going back to school, starting the new things. Okay. And it's about forgiveness, okay? All right, now forgiveness. Here, let me move this out of the way. I've got so much in this, like, half a foot section here. Okay, but forgiveness, what forgiveness obviously represents, you know what that is. This one is about really forgiving the people from the past that really have held you back from the goals that you want. You feel like maybe somebody in your family or somebody that's in your circle of friends, what they've done is they have um, set something up for you, so it almost kind of ruins something ahead of you for you ahead of time, right? Like just being associated with them automatically puts a bad stigma on you. This is about releasing that energy from old ties that we have. It's also about forgiving ourselves, of course, and releasing those toxic emotions, because when we do, then we're really able to move ahead. I think a lot of it is forgiving ourselves for the choices that we've made previously. Now is the time of saying, okay, what I have no longer works. I need to learn what I can, whether it's reading, whatever it is. I am the student. Lord God, give me direction on where I need to go. Help me to forgive myself and forgive others, and to really plant that seed for the new year, for the new you, okay? I feel that's what they're telling us this year, or this week, into the new year. Okay, keep that in mind. We got all that weird energy going on this week. We're going to be a little bit frazzly. Definitely going to have to keep this in mind too, okay? Because it's inevitable. Like, literally every one of us is going to fly off the handle about something this week, because that cosmic energy is so strong. So remember this part of it. Forgive those, forgive yourself, and then that energy is new for the new week ahead, okay? I send you all a lot of light and love and protection this week around those negative forces, okay? We'll see you next week.